Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. Today, it is the state of the address. We are taking a look at my evaluation of the New York Islanders once again. We have a lot of videos coming out about the Islanders over the next couple days. We're going to go over Ilya Sorokin, the identity line. We're going to go over all of that. But today, I want to do a short one on Lou Lamoriello and Patrick Roy coming back to the Islanders. Why I am concerned here. And I think a lot of other Islander fans are kind of feeling the same grievance right now. So we're going to go over that today in today's video. So, of course, the Islanders are my favorite team. Here on the channel, I talk about all 32 teams. But I definitely have a soft spot for my hometown New York Islanders. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned because this is what I think all Islanders fans were afraid of hearing. So the other day, there was a press conference, the locker clean-out day, right? And the Islanders have Lou Lamoriello, Patrick Roy come out. First of all, the video is not on YouTube. You have to go to the Islanders website. Like, what, guys, who's the boomer running the Islanders media? Because that's got to be on YouTube. 95% of teams have that stuff on YouTube. So that annoyed me right off the bat. Second of all, you need someone to run it. I'll do it for money. Listen, money talks. I'm willing to do it for you guys. I will. I'll upload it on YouTube. If you have somebody that can't do it, I will. Second of all, the dinosaur era. Guys, what's the video? What is the theme for the Islanders that we always talk about? If you're new to the channel, this should be new to you. But for my old-timers, you guys know what I'm talking about. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again. And the Islanders, for the last 3 years, have done things over and over and over again. And the biggest mistake for the Islanders was letting Barry Trotz go. Now, listen, look back. You shoulda, woulda, coulda, whatever. But I would be a lot more comfortable with where the Islanders were at right now. In my opinion, the Islanders had let go of Lou Lamoriello. They promote Barry Trotz from head coach to GM, and we might have Andrew Brunette as the head coach and Barry Trotz as the head coach, as the GM of the Islanders. I'd be a lot more comfortable with that right now than Lou Lamoriello, and I like Patrick Roy. But Andrew Brunette would have been a really good option for the Islanders as well. And what sucks about this whole thing is it's more so a concern of the identity of this team. I'm concerned that a lot of teams and a lot of players around the league, and the perception of the Islanders is the same. I don't think doing the same thing over again is going to help this team. Now, Lou Lamoriello said all the right things. He took accountability for... He's basically blaming the Islanders' season not going well because they fired their head coach, Lane Lambert, during the season. The only reason this team even had a chance of making the playoffs was firing Lambert, but that's not the problem. They need to score goals. This Islanders team cannot score goals. You cannot do this again. Patrick Roy got the most out of this team, absolutely, but it was the end of the season run. Is that going to go the same from game 80? Let's say hypothetically, Patrick Roy started the season with the Islanders. Is there any bit of a difference really from what they had with Lane Lambert? Probably not. I think just more so it was the change that was mid-season that forced the Islanders to say, oh, we got to get our act together. That was the only difference. I don't think if they started game one with Patrick Roy, there would have been much of a difference, in all honesty. I got to be honest with you, because the team still can't score goals. They still gave up a ton of leads. What was that? I think in this entire season, the Islanders had 30 blown leads. 30 blown leads. You're going to tell me that just changing the coach was going to do that? And they still blew leads. Some of their, actually, in more honesty, their most historic blown leads were after Patrick Roy came in. Remember the Stadium Series game? I know. I try my very hardest to forget it, especially being there live. I was embarrassed. And then the Carolina game. What was it? Game 2? That didn't look good. And game 3 didn't look so good on Patrick Roy. I know, it's easier to say shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? He should have kept Varlamov for game 3. He didn't. But technically, that's on the fault of the head coach. Oh, man, guys, it's so frustrating. And I understand, in reality, what are the better options here for the Islanders? Who is the better GM that the Islanders are going to get out on the open market? Because Barry Trotz was in their lap, and they let that one go. So what do they do next? I don't know. Listen, to give credit to Lou Lamoriello, guys, let's put this in perspective for a minute. Before 2020, this is the best GM the Islanders have ever had. Let's remember that for a second. This is a Hall of Fame GM. The best GM they've had. Okay. The best GM they have had since Bill Torrey, right? Bill Torrey is still the Islanders' best general manager, without a doubt. I don't see a Lamoriello banner getting hung anytime soon with a bow tie at the top of UBS Arena, but Lou Lamoriello is the second best GM in Islanders history. I'm sure somebody freaked out and heard the first part of that and said, Kevin, you're forgetting Bill Torrey. Bill Torrey is the architect, absolutely. But this is the second coming of the architect, but his time has run its course. The second you let go of Barry Trotz, I think they should have let go of Lou Lamoriello, because that identity of this current team fell apart when Barry Trotz left. And they need to go in the new direction now. They tried to keep the core together. They tried to get the most out of this team. This team is the same, but older, slower, and they're not clutch. They're not scoring the clutch goals. There was a couple chances for Kyle Palmieri, Noah Dobson, Anders Lee to score clutch goals at points in this series. In games 2, 3, 4, 5, they had chances, but they couldn't get it done. This team has run its course. Anders Lee, I don't know whether they're going to buy him out or not. Lou Lamoriello kind of said, like, nothing is sacred here. Anything is on the table, which maybe that does mean buying out their captain. I don't know. I'm not necessarily sure what Lou Lamoriello is going to do with the whole Anders Lee situation. He showed promises during the playoffs, but during most of the regular season, he was not good. And I felt bad. He looked hurt. He looked beat up. I don't know. And now the identity line, we could see both Cal Clutterbuck and Martin. I think they're going to let them go. Cizikas played really well on the top line. That was one of the best things Patrick Waugh did, was moving Cizikas to the top line. He is my favorite Islander. I'm glad seeing Zeker there. He might be starting on game 1 of the season for the Islanders on the top line. But the problem is, with Cizikas, as much as I love him, is that a first-line player? Maybe that works with like Brian Rust alongside Crosby, but is that the same thing as Barzal and Horvat with Cizikas? I don't know. And the Islanders need to get a goal scorer. This is another failed summer if the Islanders do not add a goal scorer. The defense can maybe make things work. It was a bad season for Dobson, Pollock, Pelech. Bad season for those guys. They could overcome that. Even Romanov. They might be able to fix that. But you guys, right now, if I'm the GM, if I'm Lou Lamoriello, I am putting the phone to Kevin Cheveldayoff, getting the routing number to Winnipeg, and finding a way. What is the price for Nikolai Ehlers right now? I am getting Nikolai Ehlers. It is a must. Now, it might come at the cost of somebody. They might have to trade someone like a Samuel Bolduc. As much as I love Bolduc, he reminds me a lot of Johnny Boychuk a couple years ago. That might be the guy. It might be the Islanders' first-round pick this year, which we'll get to that in a second. Samuel Bolduc. And it might have to be another guy. It might have to be like a Simon Holmstrom or a Wallstrom, somebody like that, just to get the deal to go through. And it might even take more than that. As much as it sucks, the Islanders are going to have to find a way to get Nikolai Ehlers, because other teams are going to be going after that. Lou Lamoriello has to get Nikolai Ehlers, and I'll make an entire video probably about it this summer. The Islanders need to land somebody to tell the NHL, and for his team, nonetheless his team, guys, we are getting somebody that can score goals. And I can tell you right now, the Islanders are not going to be the only team again going after that type of player. They are rare and hard to find, and if they are, teams aren't trading them, and they're not trading them for cheap. I can name 5 teams off the top of my head that would be going after Nikolai Ehlers, just like the Islanders. The Boston Bruins, the Los Angeles Kings, the Minnesota Wild. Those are 3 right off the bat. The New Jersey Devils. There's plenty of teams. The Tampa Bay Lightning. And not only are these teams that would be looking for that, they are desperate. Boston, Tampa, LA. They're trying to go on deep playoff runs. They will give up the farm for that type of player. But the difference is the Islanders don't have the farm to give up like those teams for Nikolai Ehlers. So they have to give their best shot early and hope there isn't a huge bidding war. Because if there's a bidding war, the Islanders aren't winning that against those teams. So the Islanders could find themselves in a similar situation where they don't have that type of player. And this all comes around to the point I was trying to make. Should the Islanders be concerned about keeping Lou Lamoriello? Yes, absolutely. But the only way Lou Lamoriello can fix this is bringing in that scoring forward, and you will shut up the Islander fans for the rest of the offseason. Because until the Islanders bring in that Nikolai Ehlers player, nobody's going to be happy with this. Nobody's going to be content. And the sample size of this team, has it not been enough for you that the Islanders glaringly need another scoring player? It is quite obvious what the Islanders need. Just go get it done. That's it. I'm going to leave today's video with that. Guys, if you like this content, want to see more videos like it, this is one of my more spirited videos, especially in Islanders recapping the season series type of video. But hopefully you like this video, want to see more videos like it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. The amount of calories I've burned on this Islanders team, I'm not sure it's worth it, but listen, if they ever win the Stanley Cup, I'll be right there for it. Guys, if you want to check out our merch shop, the merch shop is in the link in the description down below. We've also got a membership program, a monthly membership program here on YouTube. If you would like to support the channel, keep the lights on, make sure I have my Taco Bell funds to keep me well fed and making videos for you. Make sure to do that as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time.